When I was 6-year-old, I started singing. I'm always into music and I like to sing. And my father also used to encourage me so much, to take me to the programs. And like that, I started singing. And when I was 9-year-old, my first recording, it's like a recording artist, 9-year-old child singing music and light music in radio stations and things. And after that, I was the first Christian girl to sing in the Christian radio stations in like Suvatwani. They are used to broadcast from Seychelles, Manila. But after that, I started interested in classical music, towards to classical, and I want to learn classical music. And I want to be something good, special. And so I started learning in the college in music. I took the music as the major in my life.
Well, I became interested in music, many, many years ago. I probably was in high school that I first became exposed to Indian music. And I started acquiring a collection of Indian records, and for a while I even had a show of classical Indian music on KPFT, the local station here. And then later I went off to college, but I was majoring in engineering, bioengineering to be exact. But I found that really wasn't where my interest was. So after a couple of years studying engineering, I left and first went to California and started learning tabla and pakhwaj under Ustad Zakir Hussain, who's the son of Alaraka, who most people will know is the accompanist to Ravi Shankar. Well, I spent a couple of years learning under Zakir Hussain, and then I went to India And I spent, from 1976, I spent most of the time in India, and still I'm going back. I've made about 8 or 9 trips to India, and if you add all the trips together, it comes to over 5 years that I've spent in the country.
He came to India in 76, and it is like I never met him before marriage. Actually, it's a kind of arranged marriage.
The first day that we met was the day of the marriage proposal, and from that first day, we were married within 6 weeks, of which 4 weeks was taken care of with the marriage arrangements. You know.
So it's a common interest is in music. So that time my family is looking for a boy who can encourage in my music, and I was looking who's my partner can be, with me all the time. It's not like his profession is different, my profession is different. And so he came, and I liked him very much.
And the in-betweens who made the introduction were some producers at All India Radio who were mutual friends. One producer was in her community, and another producer was an old family friend of mine here.
After we got married, we were in India at about 1.5 years. The time it is kind of hard for me because of I have a hard time to speak in English. I never used to speak in English. My mother tongue is Telugu, and that is also is hard for me to suddenly, all of a sudden, marrying an American and speaking English, and food habits and things are entirely different. But it took just 6 months to be adjust a little bit. I used to cry a lot, I make him understand only the weapon I have is crying, then he will understand what is so like that, it is a little bit, and after 6 months I realized it's not that much different, because he's more like Indian, his habits are more like Indian, and he likes to live very simple, and those kind of things made me feel comfortable with him. And after that, we came, after 1.5 years we moved to USA, and so here everything seems like normal to me now.
There's so many differences in India. Food is different, habits are different, even little things that as an American we would not think of, like, offering or taking something with right hand versus left hand. Little things like this, which mean nothing to an American, have a very important significance in an Indian psyche. By the same token, you will sometimes find things that are very important to an American or a Westerner, which have relatively little significance to Indian. Concepts of time are different, concepts of family relations are different. One thing which is interesting is that language is a very powerful force in influencing one's thought. Most Indians, even when they're speaking English, they're actually reflecting their thoughts in their mother tongue. So one thing that I found difficult, especially in the first year or two in India, was that even though many times the words we could communicate with were mutually intelligible, there was no common ground in order to discuss certain concepts.